ISes don't, and nouns are not by nonist John Schaeffer. What does it do? What makes it go? That's all we are ever apt to know. Show me an is that doesn't do. I'll show you how it isn't to. Cause something is as something does. It isn't is. And that's because it does a do. It goes a go. But what it is we'll never know. To know a thing, find what it's not. At least you'll know what you ain't got. And then some is will not confuse its function with the label used. So nouns are shortcuts, mere abstractions, substitutes for lots of actions. You'll see, the more you think about the functions labeled nouns leave out. You call it this, I call it that, and thus our arguments begat. To abrogate this noun compunction, focus on, and think of function. Thus your mental maps will show reality ain't is, its flow. For thoughts to match the world outside, belief in is must be denied. To do, or not to do, the question. Think in verbs. That's my suggestion. Then if you miss some labels meanings, you still grope their in-betweenings. 'Tis where the action all takes place, twixt nature and the human race. Example, last line's labels show, man split from nature. T just ain't so. We are part of it. It's all of us. So let's not miss the cosmic bus. Cause nouns like cosmos, you, and me are more a does than is. Why sir? Nouns aren't the things you think they are. They're just things names, and on a par with people names, like Joe or Lee. A noun just names a name, Izzy. And nouns, though useful, all leave out the functions of what's talked about. Don't get me wrong, I know we need them. Just have a care how your brains read them. Don't think they are real just because they name a thing that is or was. And don't assume you know a noun until you've got its function found. I must digress a line or three to iterate disparity twixt nouns that be and verbs which do. I'd watch em close if I were you. You've read above how is not. That goes for was, be, and the lot. Those being verbs too often marry concepts which, in real life, vary between two nouns and is, or be insinuates identity. It makes us think in terms of same, and differences are lost. For shame. Alas, this loss leaves us deceived. For similarities perceived are only due, you have my word, to differences becoming blurred. You'll not be fooled if you but seek the difference making each unique. Misleading use of is can't fool someone from doxemantic school. In point of fact, it's often used to keep an audience confused by joining nouns which shouldn't have been. To stretch a point, to lie or spin. She is an ag. He is a nerd. The psycho baggage from the word is transferred to the subject. Thus, believing is, we miss the bus. Now, as to nouns, it takes some thought to comprehend how nouns are not. But once you see they don't exist, feel free to use them. I insist. A noun's a person, place, or thing. That phrase should make alarm bells ring. Cause nouns can only represent, in language form, some real event. All real life things don't be, they do. And nouns all function that way too. They sound so plain as they are said, then ricochet inside your head. I know, at first it sounds bizarre. A tree's a tree. A car's a car. But nouns are names. Don't you confuse the real stuff with the labels used. We skip that step, and no one cares. Okay, you say, you're splitting hairs. The name is not the thing. We know. Darn easy to forget it, though. So a cam's razor notwithstanding, nouns subvert our understanding. Nouns are shortcuts, actually, to cut out lots of verbs, Izzy. Now we can see through logic's knot, how ISes don't, and nouns are not. With these two twins it takes some seeing to watch nouns act as verbs of being. But there you have it, plain as day. So don't think all mixed up and say, they are the same. Cause now you've learned, the subtle difference is concerned. Or thing is just a mass of functions, all nested so it clouds the junctions. What at first seems just one unit, really lots of functions join it. Believe in doing, not in being. That's because believing's seeing, and not the other way around. Cause what one looks for shapes what's found. Nouns make you believe in things, like purple cows, and pigs with wings. Belief can make Izzy what ain't. A UFO. A ghost. A saint. The quest for fire was one of those. Men searched the flames and ember glows, for what it was that got released, when burning left a thing decreased. Those scientists of your discerned that stuff in everything that burns must be the same and did insist on naming this hot stuff phlogiston. Mystery was they couldn't find it. Now we know the nouns behind it. Looking for the thing they missed, the action function. They were pissed. Imagine their exasperation. Someone else found *oxidation asterisk. Lighting up my point precisely. Nouns mislead, where verbs serve nicely. They looked for what, and not for how. Their search seems somewhat silly now. They all believed their noun was real, but nouns are not. And that's the deal. You pin them down, they wriggle out. They got no tail. They got no snout. You realize, on closer look, what they don't say could fill a book. See, nouns are not what they first seem. They're like a ghost. They're but a dream. They may seem solid, but they're not. Those nouns'll fool ya, slick and snot. End.